Investors, do you know your numbers? You need to know your numbers because this is the most important thing you're going to be doing. So you're making sure you're making maximum value out of the investment and the risk that you're taking, as well as not getting duped out of anything. So we're going to be talking about the numbers for multifamily properties in the capital region with some specific areas around in the area in this video right here. And my name is Chris McMahon. I'm a local real estate agent here in the capital region, but I'm also an investor, and I've been an investor for over 20 years. I've owned investment properties, either fix or flips, buy and holds throughout the capital region. And my first one I purchased over 20 years ago was in the Lansingburg portion of Troy, but I've also had in Ballston Spa, Clifton Park, Gansford, the Saratoga Springs area, and multiple spots throughout the capital region over the years. So we're going to be going through these numbers right now, kind of going over so you are informed, so you're getting top dollar. And remember, when buyers, you making money when you purchase the property. You purchase it for the right price. Now it's just a matter of going through the motions, getting what you're getting out of it, depending on what your exit strategy for this property is. And we talk about exit strategies, but that's in a different video. In this one right now, we're just going to go over the market and go over the numbers. I do have some information for investors down below, some free information. So check out my description down there for that and take advantage of what I have there to offer for you. And if you've got any questions, my contact information is down there as well. Best way to get a hold of me is call or text, either one of those, but my email is there as well, whatever works best for you. Reach out to me with those questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. But as for right now, we're going to jump in here, and we're going to talk about the numbers for Saratoga County first. That's going to be our first destination. Let's get this up and running with that as I pull this in here. All right, so you can see right up here, we've got Saratoga County on the top. There's my wonderful picture. eXp Realty is the real estate brokerage that I am with right now. And we're kind of coming down here. And the first thing we're talking about is what type of market are we in? We're in a seller's market, been in a seller's market for quite a while right now. But this little triangle right here, as I tell you, it is definitely shifting more towards a balanced market in the Saratoga County. I've been watching this every month now because I do this video every month. So make sure you subscribe so you can see the next one and keep on top of those newest and best numbers. That this triangle is shifting towards that balanced market, and I've seen that over the trend over the last couple of months. But they got just under 4 months of inventory at 3.9, and that sold to list price right now is at 97, which dropped a 1.5 from the previous month. But they're sitting on the market roughly 13 days, and that medium sold price is 285 for that. So we come down here, medium estimated property value. Now, this is over the last year. These numbers right here. First of all, we're looking at 346, which is up 3% in the last month, down 2.8% in the last 12 months. But that's all right. Sometimes things kind of go up and go down a little bit. But as we're looking right here, we've got the New York average is at 944. The United States average is at 377, but Saratoga County average is at 336. And if you're an investor looking at Saratoga County, you know that there's some pretty healthy rents in the Saratoga area. So this is a pretty good value for your buck. All right. Out-of-state investors, for more in-depth numbers, reach out and get a hold of me, but I can help you with this. But the value in this area, and the whole capital region really, is lower than the national and the state average, and they're getting pretty good rent values as well. So that's something to keep in mind. I think this is a great area to be investing and putting your money in right now as well. So new listings. Right now, the number of new listings, let's come on over and look at this, is up 83.3% month over month, as we can look right here. So we see that jump. It had 12. It's up to 22. So it's jumped 10 as far as these new multifamily properties are concerned. We got a little over $11 million of total volume for new listings. We'll go over all active listings in just a second. And we're getting close to reaching that peak. We peaked over here in January, right at the beginning of the year. But we look like we're approaching that because we're on the second straight month of the increase on these new properties coming up here. And let's come down and see. So these are our active listings right now. We got 32, which is up 10% from last month, as we can see right there with 32. And right over here, days on the market, according to RPR, it's 53. Now the medium list price is 610,000, and we're looking at $24 million of total volume here for these properties. So a pretty good number. That's up 13.7% month over month as we're looking. Um, let's come down here and check and see. So active listings are looking pretty good, 32 in that area. Pending listings, how many pending did we have? We had 22 pendings a month. You can see this bar right here is increasing. Right now, this is looking at the medium list price, which is at 404. So if you're for some reason looking to sell your property, that median list price is increasing, and we're looking at a 12-month high right now because this is our chart from the past 12 months going back to September of 2024. And you can see it's a little dip right off the bat, but it's kind of steadily grown a little bit, over the last couple of months. But this past month right here, there's been a big jump from June to July. Was a pretty big increase. 24%, 24.6% increase in that right there. So on the fence about selling, price was an issue for you. Take a look at what we see right here, a big spike. Now, if you are curious what you can get for your property, I do a home evaluation. It's free. It's no obligation. All you need to do is reach out to me. I want to get a little bit of information from you. I'll do that evaluation, give you some idea of what you can list your property for on the market, how long it'll take to sell, all that good stuff right there. And I can go over those numbers with you and help you out with that. But that's what we got right there for that. So that's our pending. Let's come down to sold. We had 7 sales. Again, increased. Let's click this right here. Okay, so it was a little bit jump. So boom, on the increase right over here, we had 7 sales. They're getting 97% about on that sold to list price. 13 days on the market, and we had about $2.5 million of volume for sales price in the month of July. And months of inventory, just under 4 months, which we talked about before. So that the change in that is up 10.4%. So there is an increase in the months of inventory by a little bit. For the 12-month change is 91.7. We had a big decrease in the number of multifamilies back here in 04, coming up at almost a year ago that happened. But we're looking at 91.7% decrease in the 12-month change for as far as we're concerned for that one. So that is Saratoga County. Let's jump up here. And let's check out, let's not take all that out, Albany County. Albany County, New York. All right. Watch this triangle. Boom. Do you see how that switched right over here? I always keep an eye on that when I switch these things right here. Because this came right over here. Still in a seller's market. All of our counties are going to be in seller's market. At least they were last month. Unless something's going to surprise me. And I don't think I'm going to get surprised. But it's still in the seller's, but it's much deeper in that seller's market than we saw in Saratoga County. Saratoga County is shifting towards that balanced market. Albany County is still pretty well entrenched in that seller's market right now. They're looking at 2.3, 2.4 months of inventory. A little bit over 100% they're getting from what they're listing to what they're getting price. So 100.6%. They're sitting on the market for 10 days. And the average, or the median, I should say, $274,000. Median estimated property value is 301. That's up 1.33% from the previous month, 2.7% in 12-month change. So values have gone up a little over that 2% standard. This looks familiar. We're not going to go through the numbers. You can see it. Very similar to what we're seeing in Saratoga County as far as the averages. This is the New York State average. This is the national average. And this blue line right here is the Albany County average for prices. For property. So new listings right over here, down 2.9%. So a slight decrease right here, but we still had 68 new listings pop on the market, which is a little over $22 million in inventory that jumped on the market for the month of July. The median list price is sitting at about 300,000, just under that 300,000 range right there. Active listings dropped 10%, but still at 122. So plenty of options in Albany County here. Still at $67 million of total volume that is sitting there in the capital in Albany County, looking for investors to purchase up, add equity, turn it over. Maybe you're going to do a BRRRR method, something like that. Or you're just going to buy and hold, or you're going to flip it. All different kinds of strategies that you can do here in Albany County. And there's with 122 numbers of options for multifamilies. There's plenty of options to do that. Sitting at a 329 to 330,000 for the median list price, and that is an increase right here, as you can see. So we're sitting at a 12-month high for that median list price. Let's move down here. Pending listings, 146. The pending did go up by 2%. Days on the market went up as well. They went up to 49. Let's come over here and see the number of properties, and let's see this trend right here. Okay, so this is October, came down. It's been running fairly steady since then, but we're sitting at 146 pending listings right there, which is just under $50 million in total volume in Albany County. Number of sales, 53, which jumped up 23% this month. Sold the list price, what do we see? 100.6%. We got almost $16.7 million in total volume going on here for sales in there. And they're kind of getting about that 2.75 range, 274 for the medium sold price. And the months of inventory, they're at about 2.33 for months of inventory, which is 9.5% change and a 92.5% change in the 12-month. Again, this little dip right here is reflected in all our counties as well. So that's Albany County. We're going to go to Warren County. I'm going to check this out because I like the Glens Falls area. It's got some good rental. There we go. Okay, Triangle. Were you watching? If you didn't, go back in this video, watch it again. It did jump towards a more balanced market. Still pretty solid in the seller's market. Not as far as Albany County was, though. So we're going in that area. So not enough stuff went on in here. It's a smaller market area. So a lot of times if you don't have a lot of sales, it can't really generate the numbers that we're looking for. It is telling us we got just under 3 months of inventory, though, at 2.84%. The estimated property value is up 4% in the last month, 6.6% in the last year. So a much larger increase here in Warren County, as far as those property values going up. So we're seeing right here, state average, national average, right over here. This is Warren County average. So some familiar. Yes, we've talked about it. You get it. So we're going to move on for that. But property values are increasing. Coming down here, new listings, 12 new listings, which we got a pretty good spike right here. That's matching back in April where we hit our 12-month high. So we're up back tied with our 12-month high right here for the month of July. Just under $9 million in total volume. And we've got $118 median per square foot on that one. So coming down, active listings, we're up 12.5% for active listings. So we got more coming on the market, more active listings here in Warren County. Not a ton of, not the number of volume that we're seeing in Albany or even Saratoga, but still I think a pretty good area because I think property values are going up in this area. And I think they're going up a little bit more, a little bit faster than some of the other areas. So if your strategy is maybe buy and hold properties, build equity in the property as far as maybe forced equity, but also with inflation and the property value going up, then Warren County, specifically that Glens Falls area, Queensbury area, might be a good spot for you to take a look at and fit that strategy because we got almost $13 million of total volume as far as active listings with 18 on the market right now. But it did jump up and increase. So we saw the increase, not quite. April was the high as far as the median prices go. Let's switch this over here. I want to take a look at this. Boom. Okay. So it's running pretty similar to what we've seen here since back in November when we took that dip over there. But it's still up 12.5%. And medium days on the market is 61, which is an increase too. We're looking at about $145 median price per square foot. That's a rough average. I wouldn't go by that one too much. If you really want to know about what a property is worth, reach out and get a hold of me, and we'll do something. We'll dive in deeper than what this number is going to print out here because it's maybe an idea if you're just kind of comparing, say, hey, is a property worth digging into a little bit more? Maybe not a bad use for that, but I wouldn't take it any further than that as far as reliability. And what do we got? We got our pending listings, which are up 19, a little over $6 million of volume on that one, sitting at 289, which dropped 6.8%. One sale, down 75% from the previous month. We had 4. These are our sold listings. As you can see, it's not being able to generate a ton of numbers for us, but that's all right. We got some good numbers that we were able to go through. And months of supply, again, 2.8 sitting under there, which is up 12.3% because we had an increase in the number of listings this past month, but it's down 97.7% in the 12-month change. The last area we're going to go around and we're going to check out is Schenectady. There we go. Schenectady County. Watch it. Okay. If you saw that, It did bump down a little bit. So again, a little closer to where we're looking and we're seeing in Albany. As far as the seller's market, you got 2 1/3 months of inventory. Medium sold price is 260,000, which is up 6%. A little bit less than that sold to list price. We got 98.9%, 17 days on the market. Last month's change, here we go. Median estimated property value. So 285, which is up over 5% for last month, up almost 12%. So even better right here in Schenectady County than what we were looking at in Warren County. This is familiar. We're seeing that. So we're going to kind of scoot right past this. New listings down. They had 24 new listings. $7.5 million came out on the market. They're talking about $118 a square foot. But remember, we talked about this $118 a square foot. You want a real good average specific to a property? Let me know. $292.5 for the medium list price. We see this kind of on a decline here as far as the number of properties. There was, as far as the new listings, there was 39 the month before. There was 24 this month. So active listings is down as well, 8.8% month over month. They've got that's $17.7 million of total volume at 317 medium list price. Pending listings is up 64. So some people buying in the area because there's a number of pendings going on. Almost $19 million of total volume that went on here at $124 a square. And sold 22 closed in that month, at which are just below that 100%. So getting a little bit less of what they're asking for at 98.94%. They're sitting on the market about 2.5 weeks at 17 days. And there was $5.2 million in total volume that went on through there. So their month of supply, as we said, 2 1/3. Its change is down 9.5% from the previous month, and 96.5% is the 12-month change on that. So that's our going over. Now, I broke it down by county, just kind of give, cover as much as the area, a larger area could. If you specifically have a property that you are interested in taking a look at, or an area, specific area, Boston Spa, Saratoga Springs, Clifton Park, maybe something in Schenectady, or you got a neighborhood in Albany or something like that you specifically want to hyper focus on, I can run those numbers. I can break your head area down, get right in there and kind of run those numbers and give you some idea of what we're looking at here as far as, average sales prices, how much inventory we got, months of inventory. If you're looking to sell, how quick they're selling, where they're going at. We can get into those numbers. But this is just video is really just meant to be a general overview here to give people some idea. If they really dive in deeper, reach out and get a hold of me. Again, I've got some resources down there for investors to take advantage of. Make sure you're clicking on those and reach out and get a hold of me with your real estate questions. I'd be more than happy. And subscribe to the channel because I do this video every month. And I do as well with some other videos too. And all about real estate, investment properties, all that good stuff. We dive into specifics for neighborhoods and things like that. So subscribe to the channel so you're getting that information as it's coming out. But on that, it's great to see you guys again. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Good luck with your investment strategies in your portfolios, and reach out to me when you have those questions.